Solutions. I am Preeti, working as Oracle Fusion Functional Consultant. So today we are going to see how to implement Fusion project in the application. For that we will take one case of Aeronet Group. So here you can see that the project name is Aeronet Group project, and this is the phase 1 of the implementation. And in the date I have taken today's date, and the preparer for this requirement gathering document name will be there. And now, what is the business of Aeronet Group? Aeronet Group is an ISO certified company. It is an IT consulting and service provider specializing in ERP, EPM, BI and data visualization technologies. These are the services of the Aeronet, that is consulting, implementation projects, support, training, and these are the products for which Aeronet Groups provide the services. In the ERP they provide the services for Fusion, NetSuite, Workday, and in the EPM they provide services for the FCCS, PBCS, TRCS, ARCS. And now the Aeronet Group operate their business from two locations. In the India they have their head office, and in the US they have office from where they are operating its business. So they have two legal registrations, one in India and another in US. And in the Oracle Fusion application we have to create the enterprise structure, where we have to create the enterprise. Then in case if we have divisions, we have to create the divisions. Then we have to create the primary ledger, where primary ledger consists of 4 C's, that is currency, calendar, chart of accounts and accounting method. Then we have to create the legal entity. Legal entity means where the Aeronet have their legal registration, we have to create the entities for that. Then we have to create the business unit, means from where the Aeronet Group is operating their business. Then we have to create the dummy inventory organization for creating the sales order or the purchase orders. When we create the primary ledger, it consists of 4 C's. You have to create the calendar, then you have to create the chart of accounts, then you have to select the currencies, in which currencies they have to do the business. You have to select in the currencies, or you have to enable those currencies, and then you have to select the accounting method. In the legal entity, as I told you, the Aeronet Group is operating its business operations from 2 countries, that is, one is from India and another country is USA. And in both the countries Aeronet Group have their legal registration, so we have to enter the legal information of the registrations in the application. Then we have to create the business units from where it is operating its business. So in India they are operating their business from the Bhopal city, that is located in Madhya Pradesh state, and in the US they are operating their business from the New York City in US. So this is the enterprise structure of Aeronet Group that we have created as per their requirement. As I told you, we have to create the primary ledger, which will consist of 4 C's. So here we are creating the primary ledger for the Indian head office, where the currency will be INR, the calendar will be fiscal year, that is April to March, and in the chart of accounts we will use the common chart of accounts for the Indian office and for the US office, and in the accounting method we will use standard accrual. Then we will create the legal entity, and we will require the legal registration details for creating the legal entity. Then we will create the BU for the legal entity, that is in India, and then we will create inventory organization. Then for the USA office that is situated in New York, it will deal in the USD currency. We will use the calendar fiscal year, that is April to March, and for the reporting purpose we will use the different calendar for the gap, and for that we will create the secondary ledger. We will discuss that later. Right now we will create the primary ledger for US, where we will use the currency as USD, calendar as fiscal year, and we will use the common chart of accounts that we will use in the Indian primary ledger. And in the accounting method we will use the standard accrual method. Then we will create the legal entity for US, and then we will create the business unit for US. Again we will create the inventory organization for this primary ledger. Here you can see the sample report for the profitability on the basis of resources. Now the requirement that we need is that on what basis this client needs its calendar to be maintained, then what are the currencies in which they have to deal. The convention method is nothing but accounting method. We will require the legal registration detail, their office details of India and USA. We will require the legal address, BU details, and this is the accounting calendar. In India we use the fiscal calendar, that is April from March, and in the US we use the accounting calendar, that is January to December. Then these are the three different kind of ledgers. In the first we will create the primary ledger, where we will use the same chart of accounts, same accounting method, same calendar, same currency. And then when we will use the different calendar, that is when we will report in US, then we will use the different calendar, that is from January to December. For that we will create the secondary ledger. Whenever we create the ledger with different C other than currency, then in that case we have to create the secondary ledger. So in this case, whenever we need to create the report in the US, then we have to use the different calendar, that is January to December. In that case we will create secondary ledger. And if you want to change only currency, then in that case we will create the reporting ledger. Now we will move to our application to see how to implement the Fusion project for the Aeronet group. For starting with the implementation, first we have to create the implementation user, and then we have to assign that the roles, the implementation roles to that user. First we have to provide the application implementation manager role to the user. The use of this role is, it is used to manage implementation project and assign implementation task. Then we have to provide the application implementation consultant role. It is used to access all setup tasks. Then we will provide the IT security manager role. It is used to access the security console to manage roles, users and security. Then we have to provide the financial integration specialist. It is used to plan, coordinate and supervise all activities related to the integration of financial information system. Then we have to run the LDAP job. Let's move to our application to create the implementation user for this project. Let's log in with the existing user. So we have logged in with the existing user, and now for creating the new user you have to go to this navigator and now go to the tools, and then go to the security console. Click on users, and from here you can create new user. We have to create the implementation user. Click on add icon. Now give the name of the user here. Now click on add role. Application Implementation Manager, click on add role membership. The next role is Application Implementation Consultant. Click on add role membership. Next role is IT Security Manager. Then provide Financial Integration Specialist. So we have provided 4 roles to this user, and now click on save and close. After creating the user and providing the roles to that user, the mandatory step is to run the LDAP job. For that you have to go to the navigator again, go to tools, and then go to the scheduled processes. Click on schedule new process. Click on search icon. Search for the LDAP job. Select retrieve latest LDAP changes. Click on OK. You can read the description here. It synchronizes users, roles and role grants with definitions in LDAP. Now click on OK. Then click on submit. You can see the status as running. Refresh this page. Let's log out with this user and then log in with the user that we have created. So we have logged in with the user that we have created. Now you have to go to the setup and maintenance. Now with this user we will create the project for the Aeronet group. Go to the setup and maintenance and then go to the task panel and click on manage implementation project. From here you can create the project for the Aeronet group. For creating the new project you have to click on this create icon. Give the name of this project. To which user you want to assign this project. Select here the user name. So we want to assign this project to the ME02. Now here you have to select the start date of this project. Click on save and open project. Now we have to give the offering to this project. For that you have to click on this add icon and select the financial here and click on apply, then click on done. So we have provided the offering as financial to this project. Now the task under this financial offering can be configured by this user. Now click on done. So we have created the implementation user, we have provided the roles to that user, and then we have created the project and provided the offerings to that project. Now so we have done this part. Now our next step is we have to create the chart of account structure. So I have created the chart of account structure in the Excel format, and then after this we will create the same structure in the application. You can see here in the company, this Aeronet group have two companies. One is registered in India and the another one is registered in USA. So first we will create the value set for the company. Then in the cost center, this client needs its cost center to be recognized on the basis of billable or non-billable consultants. So here you can see we are taking the consultants as the cost centers on the basis of billable or non-billable. So there are three categories. One is billable consultants, second is non-billable consultants, and the third is supporting staff, which is permanently non-billable staff in the organization. Then in the intercompany we have taking the same companies as companies. Then the resources. Resources means the employees of the company. So they are bifurcated on the basis of the products. You can see the ERP resources, EPM resources, and the reporting will be done on the basis of team lead. say we have team lead 1 under which the ERP and consultant falls, and this team lead can also be the resource. Same goes with the EPM, and there is a supporting staff which are permanently non-billable staff. Then what are the services provided by this company? Aeronet services provide the fusion services, EBA service, NetSuite, Workday. In the EPM they provide PVCS service, ARCS, TRCS, FCCS. And the line of business, they provide the implementation consultancy, support consultancy, and also they provide the trainings. Under trainings they provide the third party training and internal trainings. And for the future purpose we are taking one segment, that is future. Now we will design the structure in the application. So we will start with the creation of chart of accounts. Go to the setup and maintenance. In the setup area select it as financial. Then go to the financial reporting structure, and here you can see the tasks related to chart of accounts. These are the tasks that you have to configure for creating the chart of accounts in the application. So we will start with creating the value set. We will create the value set for each segment. For creating the value set, you have to go to the task, that is manage chart of account value sets. Click on add icon. Select the module here. Select general ledger. Then select the validation type, so it is independent. Select the value data type as character. Select the value subtype as text. Now click on save and close. Our next segment is cost center. Click on save and close. Validation type you have to select independent. Then select subtype as text and give the maximum length here. Create value set for resources. Then create the value set for services. Then we will create the value set for line of business. Select the validation type as independent, value data type as character, and in the value set type select it as text. Create the value set for the future segment. Then select the module here. So we have created the value set for all the segments. Let's search it out here. So this is the value set code for accounts, company, cost center, future, intercompany, line of business, resources, services. Now click on save and close and move to our next task, that is manage chart of account structure. Click on this task. Search with the module name here. Select GeneralLedger and then click on search. Now click on manage structure, and for creating the new structure you have to click on this add icon. Give the structure code here. delimiter here. Click on add icon, and here you have to add the segments. Select the display width here, select the column name, so this is the segment 1, and here you have to associate the value set code that you have created in your previous practice. Click on OK, and to the company we give the segment label as primary balancing segment. Now click on save and close. In the same manner we have to create the segments, and we have to link the value set code here for rest of the segments. Select segment 2, and here in the default value set code we have to give the corporate accounts, and to the account segment we provide the segment label as national accounting segment. Click on save and close, then again click on add icon, to this segment we will provide the segment label as cost center segment. value set code that we have created for intercompany. And provide the segment label that is available for intercompany segment, and click on save and close. Select the value set code created for resources, and then click on save and close. This is the segment number 6, and link the value set code here. Click on save and close, and now we have to create the segment for the line of business. This is the 7th segment. Select the value set code that we have created for line of business, and then click on OK and click on save and close. And now we will create the segment for the future. Select column name as segment 8 and link the value set code that we have created for the future segment. And click on save and close. So we have created the chart of account structure and then we have created the segment for the same. Now click on save and close. Now we have to create the structure instance. For that you have to click on this manage structure instance, click on add icon, give the structure instance code here. Now in the structure name you have to link or associate the structure that you have created for your chart of accounts. You can see AeroNet chart of account structure. So when you create the instance you have to link your structure name here. Click on edit icon and you have to click on this checkbox required. And you have to do it for all the segments. Now we have created the value set code, then we have created the structure for our chart of accounts, then we have created the structure instance for our chart of accounts. Now I will add the values in the chart of accounts. And what are the values that we have to insert in this chart of accounts for the segments? Let's move to the Excel sheet. So these are the values. We have to create the parent value, then we have to create the child value. Let me show you. Click on manage chart of accounts value set values. Search for the value set code here. So these are your segments, and under this now you have to add the values. For that you have to select your segment and then you have to click on manage values. For creating the value you have to click on this add icon. Now here you have to give the value and here you have to give the description. Now I will add the value in the company according to this chart. So total A and group is my parent value. select the value as 999, and in the description we will give total AN group. As this is our parent value, we will not allow posting, and also we will not allow budgeting. Click yes in summary. Posting and budgeting will only be allowed for the child values, but for the parent values we will not allow posting and budgeting. Our next parent value is total AN India group. Give the value here and then give the name in the description. This is also our parent value. Now this is the parent value for the USA group. And now we will create the child values. This is also our child value, and posting will be done only at child value. Now for the child values we have to allow posting, and also we have to allow budgeting. Click on save and close. Now let's add the values for the cost center. Go to the cost center and then click on this tab, that is manage value, and then click on this add icon. So this is our parent value. Parent value for the supporting staff. Select yes in summary and select no in posting and budgeting, as it is a parent value. Parent value for the non-billable consultants. parent value for the supporting staff. So we have created the values for the parent values. Now we will add the values for the child value. Click on this add icon, and these are our child values. Click on add icon. And these values are for supporting staff. So we have added the values for the cost centers. Now click on save and close. Now let's take next segment, that is intercompany. Click on manage values. There will be same values as we entered in the company segment. Click on add. Give the value here 999 for the parent value. Select yes, and for the posting and budgeting you have to select no. The child values. Click on save and close. So we have seen how to create the value set code, how to create the chart of account structure, and how to create the chart of account structure instance. Then we have seen how to add the values to these segments. So we are done with the company segment, cost center segment, and intercompany segment today. For the resource segment, service segment, line of business, and future segment, we will add the values in the tomorrow's session. So thank you so much for joining today's session.